Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I don't really need to tell anybody. It's brick out there. If you're smart, keep your butts home. If you don't need to go out, damn it, don't, because it's too cold. Just sit back, drink some coquitos, eggnog, something. Hot chocolate. Just stay home. Don't even bother. Kick up your feet, watch some NFL football. Get ready for, if you celebrate, get ready for the holidays. If you have to do any last-minute shopping, do it on eBay, online, or something like that. Don't bother going out there. But you know what? It's time for NFL football. This time, a Saturday, Week 16, chock full of NFL action. And we're going to start right now. You know, to say that I had a good week last week would be an understatement. Because last week, I posted a 9-2 record. And if it weren't for those sorry ass, I would have had almost a perfect week if it weren't for two teams. If it weren't for the Redskins, there I go again. If it weren't for the Commanders, if it weren't for the Cowgirls, I would have had a perfect week last week. But that's all right. I did a lot better than most. And for the season, I am lighting it up. Because after a slow start to the season, I have a 79-56 record for the entire season. I challenge anyone, if they have a better record for the entire season than I have. And I picked every game. It's not like I'm picking one or two games at a time. I'm going through every game of those weeks. And to have that many games over 500, a cool 23 games over 500 is saying something. Hey, Michelle's daughter, happy holidays to you. All right, I understand. And it's always a pleasure to have you in the room. And I'm going to start out with the first game on the menu. The Atlanta Falcons will take on the Baltimore Ravens. No Lamar Jackson. Even their second-string quarterback is hurt. The Ravens have a bunch of guys out. Ritter actually played pretty well last week for Atlanta, even though they did lose. They kept it close. That was a bad loss to Cleveland that the Ravens had. I tell you what, I don't see the Ravens winning this game either. You know, the Ravens are a cool 7-11 without Lamar Jackson. That's how bad they've been. And I like the Falcons here. 23-20. Like I said, the Ravens' second string quarterback is also beat up. He's questionable. He will start. I don't think he will finish. That's just my opinion, but again, my opinion's been pretty damn good. Next up, the Detroit Lions go into Carolina to take on the Panthers. Panthers, of course, have Sam Darnold at quarterback. Made us look good. Of course, my Steelers made that game a lot closer than it should be. It should have been, but we got the job done. Now, Detroit has a terrible defense. The problem is the Panthers' offense is even more terrible. And we know that the Lions can score. And the Lions can at least rush the passer. Now, the Panthers have a pretty decent defense, but their offense stinks. And they're without a couple of guys at the corner position. And happy holidays, Miss Burnett. How are you doing this month? I know you're getting ready for the holidays and getting ready for this evening's now bittersweet game against the LA Raiders. Hey, good morning, my brother Ken Nola. How you doing? I don't know if it's cold down there in New Orleans. I know it's freezing up here. Always a pleasure to see you in the chat as well. Now, as I said, Detroit has been a very hot team, and I expect them to keep the streak going. I like the Lions here over the Panthers, 27-17. I had to step away for a second. Please bear with me. Next up. Oh, it's minus 20. God. Minus 27. Damn it, that's colder than here. It's only minus 11 here. Dang. I know y'all ain't used to that down there. Please stay warm. Take care of yourself. And that's for everybody. My goodness. And I don't do cold weather well. I hate cold weather. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I can imagine it's minus 27. Damn. That's ridiculous for you guys. You would have thought you was in Buffalo or something. Speaking of which, the Buffalo Bills are taking on the Chicago Bears, man. I know it's cold in Chicago. That wind, you can keep that. Oh, man. You know, Justin Fields has played pretty well. Yeah, it's even cold down there, man. Well, I know it's cold down there. If it's cold in New Orleans, I know it's cold in the Carolinas. Man, nobody's escaping this weather. I feel bad for Justin Fields. He's played pretty well, but his defense is not. No Chase Claypool. He was a shocker. He's going to build the other St. Brown brother. Buffalo coming off another win. They played a lot better. Josh Allen is doing what he needs to do. I like Buffalo here easy. 31-23 over the Bears. Next up, your New Orleans Saints go into Cleveland to take on the Browns. Browns coming off a win in Baltimore. I tell you, I don't know what happened to your Saints, man. I know part of it is Andy Dalton. He just stinks. You're going to be without two receivers again. I wish Deshaun Watson would play pretty decent. He has not. In fact, he's been downright awful. I want to pick the Saints. I can't do it. I like the Browns at home 24-20 over those New Orleans Saints. Next up, the Kansas City Chiefs are at home taking on the Seattle Seahawks. You know it's crazy. Geno Smith made the Pro Bowl. Yeah, I said it. Geno Smith made the Pro Bowl. I know he had a good season. Is he Pro Bowl worthy? Well, I guess he is. I mean, Seattle's, at least they were in contention. They're not making the playoffs now. I mean, they got beat up last week. And I don't see him winning in Kansas City either. I like the Chiefs here, 28-21. Now, Seattle does get their running back. The rookie Walker, he comes back. The trade-off is they're without Tyler Lockett, their second best receiver. So they'll be double teaming Metcalf. And we know Geno's going to give up at least one. And away we go with that. Next up, the New York Football Giants go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Giants have a chance to solidify their playoff run. The Vikings looked like they were dead in the water, but they had one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. And I thought the Vikings were out of it myself, but man, the Colts stink. And that's why the Colts are turning to Nick Foles. And they'll be looking for a real head coach next season. The Giants were stumbling until last week when they beat the Commanders in Washington. And that was definitely a must-win for them. Good to see Saquon Barkley get back on track if you're a Giants fan. I still don't trust Daniel Jones as far as I can throw him. But I do believe that the Vikings defense is tailor-made for the Giants. Vikings defense is trash. The Giants defense is a lot better than the Colt defense. And hey, that is still Kirk Cousins. I'm going to go with the Giants here. Upset special, 27-24 in Minnesota over the Vikings. Next up, I got the Bengals traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. That was a ridiculous game that the Patriots lost. I mean, if that wasn't Bill Belichick, that coach would have lost it. But because Bill Belichick happened, I mean, that was all that idiot needed to do was to just sit down and go to overtime against the Raiders. He didn't. They lose, and away we go. Joe Burrow's been hot lately. So has Jamar Chase. They've been playing their best football at the best time. That is the mark of a championship team. I can't believe I'm saying Bengals and championship team in the same sentence. But they are the defending AFC representative in the Super Bowl. That makes them a championship team. Now they have to make that next step and win it all. I think people are sleeping on the Bengals. But I see them winning this one, 28-24 over New England. And I tell you what, with Miami free-falling, And at first, Miami was my dark horse. I'm jumping off that Miami bandwagon. Boy, oh boy. And I have to say the Bengals, I wouldn't be shocked if they represent the AFC and beat old Peppermint Patty again. And there's just something about Josh Allen I don't trust. The Bengals could go back. Don't be shocked, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to see them go back, but I wouldn't be shocked if they went back. Next up is my upset special of the day. Now, I don't know if it's going to be too big an upset to certain people because the Tennessee Titans have been so up and down all season. No Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis starts. Now, the Titans' offensive line is good as far as run blocking, but pass blocking, they are terrible. The Titans' defense has not been as strong as normal. The Houston Texans should have had 2 more wins. They let 2 of them get away. Obviously, the one against Dallas. And the game they played last week, they let get away. I don't know how the Houston Texans let that get away against the Chiefs. Those are 2 superior teams, the Cowboys and Chiefs. The Titans are not in that category. Lovie Smith has them playing hard. That defense is playing so much better. This is my upset special. Texans 20, Titans 17. Next up, the Washington Commanders take on the 49ers at home. Brock Purdy has played exceptionally well. That was a big loss by the Commanders against the Giants. Chase Young does come back for them. The problem is I don't think it's going to matter. The Commanders cannot win in the shootout. I know there's no Deebo Samuel, but there is a Christian McCaffrey. I mean, this has been the ultimate next man up team. Listen, I do think the Philadelphia Eagles are the favorite, but that injury to Jalen Hurts opens up the door. Don't be shocked if the 49ers go to the Super Bowl and not the Eagles, especially if they do this Jalen Hurts thing wrong. And they're smart not to play Jalen Hurts this week. But you can't shut them down and wait till the divisional playoffs and say, okay, go get them. That's BS. As a quarterback, you have to have a rhythm. I love the 49ers here. This game could get ugly quickly. Next up, the Philadelphia Eagles without Jalen Hurts, and it will be Gardner Minshew, who was the quarterback in Jacksonville a few years back. He will take the helm for the Philadelphia Eagles and go into Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Cowboys lost a stinker against the Jaguars. They should have lost against the Houston Texans. This is the typical Cowboy swoon at this time of year. All of a sudden, Michael Parsons only has 1 sack over 3 weeks. That's not Lawrence Taylor-esque. I know there's no Jalen Hurts, but Miles Sanders will go to the Pro Bowl. A.J. Brown is a top 3 receiver. He might be the best receiver. No, the Jefferson kid in Minnesota is the best receiver. But A.J. Brown is, man. Everybody thinks the Cowboys are going to win this game. I don't. Eagles 27, Cowboys 20. Now, tonight's game has become very somber, obviously. And I don't know how far back you go with the Steelers, Miss Burnett, but I go back to the very beginning of the dynasty with Franco. And to say that this is a somber time in Steelers history, it is an understatement. Forget the fact that the Steelers are due, because we haven't beaten the Raiders in God knows when. I believe since about 2017, something stupid. And Pickett will start. Even though I have to say that Trubisky played pretty well last week. But the Steelers are right putting Pickett in there. The 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. There's going to be a lot of Steeler legends in the house. I mean, the Raiders are coming off of a win, an improbable win last week. Listen, the Steelers, they lose this game, man. And I'm not saying they couldn't, because I've seen us do some stupid stuff, but I don't see any way the Raiders win this game. There's too much emotion on that football field. Those fans might kill the Steelers if they lose this game. Steelers 27, Raiders 17. Now, there's going to be a couple of games Christmas Day tomorrow. One of them is the Miami Dolphins at home, taking on the Green Bay Packers. I know the Packers won last week. But what else is new? They always beat the Bears, so what? Then they're going to go into the sweltering Miami. I just think Miami, knowing that their playoff lives are slipping away, I think they have to win. They know they have to win this game. I believe they will win this game. The Packers are pretty much shot. We know that. Next up, the Denver Broncos. I don't know if Russell Wilson will play this week. I don't think it's going to matter. Don't worry, Michelle's daughter. I did pick your Giants to win today against the Vikings. I did pick them. And that was a good win for y'all last week against the Commanders. So Denver's taking on the Rams. The Rams have basically thrown in the towel. No Aaron Donald again. Aaron Donald, he's had it. I think Aaron Donald might retire after this season. I don't think he will play another game in the NFL. You heard it here first. But I like the Broncos here, no matter who's at quarterback for the Broncos. 27-17 over the Rams. I mean, you talk about failing to defend your title. The Rams really failed badly. Now, the Sunday night game is the Tampa Bay Bucks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. That's another team. I mean, obviously, their quarterback is done for the season. Cliff Kingsbury is just about out the door. I wouldn't be shocked the Rams coach is out the door. But Kingsbury's going to be forced out. McVay's just going to be out. At least he's going to be out the door for the Rams. Take a couple of years off and then go to the job of his desire. Cliff Kingsbury, at best, is going back to college. He stinks. I like the Buccaneers, knowing that they have a shot to win the division. I know Brady hasn't been great. He's still good enough to beat the Cardinals. And the Monday night game, the LA Chargers, and that was a big game that they won last week. They are taking on the Indianapolis Colts. You saw how bad the Colts defense was last week. That was ridiculous how they gave up all those points in the second half and in overtime. And I know that the Vikings are a quick strike offense. I get it. And they have a lot of weapons. There's no way they should have lost that game. Herbert's rounding into form. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. And that defense is starting to play well. They're starting to look like the Charger team they were supposed to look like at the beginning. I like the Chargers here big time, 31-20 over the Colts. And those, my friends, are my NFL picks for Week 16. Please like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Do your best to stay warm. If you have to go out, send another clown. Don't go out there. I'd like to thank Michelle's daughter, Ken Nola and Cheryl Burnett, and everybody who joined me this week. Happy holidays to all. May you get what you wish for and pray for. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. UncleClaude signing out. Take care, stay safe, and God bless. And again, stay warm. Take care, everybody.